everyone, and welcome to the College Essentials Q&A webinar. I'm so excited, and all of us staff here at Algonquin are so excited that you've joined us today and that you're setting yourself up for success for your journey at Algonquin College. My name is Liv, and I coordinate fun social events for you as students, as well as orientation events at Algonquin College. A fun fact about myself is that I am an Algonquin College graduate of the business marketing program. And I had such an amazing experience as a student at Algonquin College and within my program that I stayed and now I work here. I just loved my experience so much. So I'm really excited that you're going to be starting your journey with us. Graham, if we could go to the next slide, please, that'd be great. So a few housekeeping items to share before we get started. It's a webinar, so you can see and hear us, but we can't actually see or hear you. So if you're joining in your pajamas, or maybe you're eating breakfast or dinner, that is a-okay. We cannot see you, so no worries on that. Closed captioning is available, so you can click the CC icon at the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. This webinar is being recorded and it will be added to algonquincollege.com/orientation, so you can relive the fun and watch it all over again. If you're experiencing any technical difficulties, please let us know by clicking the chat button and just sending a message to our panelists or our event support. If you have a question, I'm just going to point out, so the chat tab, you can engage with your community, say hello. But if you have a question, please open up the Q&A tab, and that's where you'll place your questions for this session. And we've got experts who will be on here answering your questions throughout the entirety of the presentation. So you don't have to wait until the end to ask your question. You can just go ahead and pop it into the Q&A function whenever you'd like. Next slide, please. All right, so as you can see, we have a jam-packed agenda today to help you get started before your first day on September 7th. If you still have questions after today's webinar, don't stress. We've got lots of resources available to you. We'll go to the next slide, please. Perfect. So we have tons of orientation resources that you can find by visiting algonquincollege.com/orientation. That includes a 10-minute to-do checklist, AC startup videos on topics like student experience, academic success, and more. All of this prep work will pay off, I promise, and get you ready for AC Day 1, which is Tuesday, September 7th, and your studies beyond that. Don't forget that registration is now open for AC Day 1, and we have lots of great activities and supports available to you on that day. You will attend your program orientation, and it's likely going to be in the morning, and then the rest of the day is up to you, and you can create your schedule however you like and select events that pique your interest. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm really excited. New this year, we have our first ever Discord server on AC Day 1, so definitely check that out if it's something you're interested in. Next slide, please. Awesome. So without further ado, let's head over to our first presenter. So we're going to be hearing from Martha Marr from Student Support Services. Over to you, Martha.
Thanks, Olivia. Good morning, everybody. We're really happy to have you here, and it's a very exciting time of the year for all of us. And we welcome you to Algonquin College, and congratulations on taking the first step and attending today. Next slide. So we know that we've been through a pandemic and you've been through a pandemic and we're still in it. And it's a really interesting time in the world to start your post-secondary journey. But what we want to let you know today is that we've got you. You will be able to access student support services for your success in either video, virtual, or in-person access to services. And I'll tell you about some of those services that are there for you in order to help you achieve at Algonquin College. Next slide. So these are some of the supports within student support services that are available to you. First, we have the AC Hub, which is all things student engagement. And if you're interested in seeing some great speakers, being involved in some experiential fun activities, plants, glitter and glab, you name it, the AC Hub has it for student engagement. Aspire AC is a service for students who don't traditionally go to college. So if you're somebody who is kind of the first person in your family, you're a newcomer to Canada, you're somebody who grew up in the care of the province, You're somebody who really is unsure of things at post-secondary, but you have the desire and you have the confidence. That's what Aspire AC is there for, and they will help you every step of the way. Center for Accessible Learning is our center for people who learn and maybe need some adaptations in order to suit their own abilities. If you're somebody who needs any kind of accommodations to achieve your academic success, Center for Accessible Learning has all kinds of technology assets, learning supports, personal learning plans, and they will set up your accommodations that you take to your professors and ensure that your professors have what you need. What I want to say about the Center for Accessible Learning is the earlier the better. If you're somebody who needs those accommodations, who's had those in high school or previously, or you've seen a doctor who says, yep, you need some adaptations for your academic success, get to the Center for Accessible Learning sooner rather than later. Counseling services, they have 3 streams: career counseling, mental health counseling, and academic counseling, and they are there for you. It's not easy to go to post-secondary in the pandemic, and they will help you out. Co-curricular record is anything that you do outside of your academics, you can gain a record for that shows employers that you're a well-rounded student and that you're involved in your student learning, and you will have a secondary report along with your academic report that shows and gives you a bit of an edge. Employment Support Center, we have a unique job board called Hire AC, only available to students at Algonquin College, and it has all kinds of job opportunities on there for you, whether you're someone who just wants a little part-time job on campus to keep you involved and a little bit of pocket money, or whether you're looking to take your first step into your career, the Employment Support Center is there for you. Health services, again, if you're somebody in a program that requires any kind of immunizations in order for you to go out to your placements during your program, health services will have that all ready for you and available, as well as any day-to-day health needs you may need. The library, definitely check it out. They've got learning coaches, they've got workshops, your main courses that generally students need some extra support with, computers, English, math. They have tutoring services available to you. Mammoth-Oswin Center, if you're a student who is Indigenous, the Mammoth-Oswin Center is a gathering place for you where you can connect with your culture and also engage with other people who from your culture, and you can invite others who are not in your culture to come and experience that with you. Office of the Ombudsman, we hope you never need it, but it's an impartial area that will help you to negotiate when you're in a conflict with regards to your academics. All of the others are there for you as well. I'll go into them maybe later, or if anybody has questions about the rest of the student support services. But just to let you know, student support services has, if you need a support, if you are looking for something to help you, turn to student support services, because chances are we have a program that can help you. Next slide. So I mentioned Cal again. If you are somebody who will need accommodations, who has had accommodations in the past for your learning, or you're just learning now that maybe you do need some accommodations, the sooner the better. And get to their website. There's 3 steps that they outline, and the first one is registering. Next slide. Counseling, I mentioned the 3 streams, and don't forget that this is a service that's there for you. Again, during the pandemic, we've all experienced some mental health issues and learned some skills to keep ourselves mentally well. And this service is there for you to continue to do that. Next slide. Aspire AC, again, if you're somebody who feels alone in this, aspiring to go to post-secondary, aspiring to go to college, look us up. We have services and supports that can help you. Next slide. And for more information, this is the Student Support Services website. So thank you all for tuning in today, and I hand it back to Olivia for our next presenter.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Martha. We really appreciate all the information about student support services. And again, if any students have questions, you can go ahead and pop those into the Q&A. Next, we've got Ahmed from the registrar's office. So Ahmed, we'll throw that over to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for joining us today. My name is Ahmed. I work at the registrar's office as an enrollment service representative. I'm here to talk to you about your one-stop shop, and it's called the Access account. Can I please have the next slide? So the best way to access your Access account is actually from our main website, algonquincollege.com. At the top, you'll see that says current student, as you can see on the screen. When you click on the current student and you go down the page slowly, you'll see big white letters that says ACSIS, and that's where you click on it. That's one of the ways you can access Access account. Can I please have the second slide? On the Access account, once you log in, you will need your student number, and if it's your first time, it will be your date of birth. The beauty about Access account is, like I said, it's a one-stop shop. There is going to be on the left side of your Access account many tabs. It's like a menu. In one of those menus, as you can see, I've highlighted the defer your fees. It's a very important tab, you can say. Basically, if you are an OSAP applicant and you're applying for financial aid help, you would want to click on defer your fees. That would extend your fees to, let's say, 20 days after you start your day for your outstanding balance. That's one of the things you can do on your Access account. Can I please have a second slide? Another thing you can do is eventually, once you have deferred your fees or paid your tuition deposit, you'll be able to see your timetable. So if you are starting this fall with us and you have paid the $500, or if you're an international student, paid your $1,500, or you deferred your fees because you're an OSAP applicant, the view timetable is available for you right now to click on, unless you've paid obviously or deferred today. Give us 2 maximum business days and you will see your timetable available. May I please have the second slide? One of the things you can do on the Access account is called the drop add transfer. So let's say I want to do a timetable change to accommodate my scheduling. If I'm not able to do the drop add transfer, there will be a message saying, please communicate with your program coordinator, which is happen to be the department. You would need to speak to them either by email or communicate with them, depending on what sources they have for you to communicate with them to help you do that timetable change. Can I please have the next slide? Print payment receipts. It's one of the categories, again, that you will have on the Access account, and that will show you a proof of payment. A lot of parents would want that eventually. It's not used for your tax purposes. Eventually, when it's time for your tax, it's called the T2202 tuition receipt that your parents would like, or you would need to print to use that for your tax purposes. But print payment receipts, a lot of students would like that as a proof of payment. May I please have the next slide? Print letters. It's one of the options that we have on Access account, which is very convenient for all of our students, especially for those students that need to print off a proof saying I'm currently registered at Algonquin College, and they need this letter to provide to the bank so that the bank can release money so that your parents or yourself can pay your outstanding balance. May I please have the next slide? We added this slide here just as a friendly reminder that, sometimes students tend to forget their password. Not a big deal. If you did, there's a little blue that says forgot your password that you click on to help you reset it. If for some reason you cannot do it over the phone, don't hesitate to call us. Sorry, over the computer, forgive me. Don't hesitate to call us and we can help you do that over the phone. May I please have the second slide? On Access account, you'll have the option on the left side as well under the account category is profile. We ask you to kindly have your profile updated, your address up to date, your phone number, your personal email. It's a good way for the college for us to communicate with you when we need to, or if we need to send you, for example, your credentials eventually when you graduate from us by mail. So it's always important to kindly not to forget to have the accurate information under your profile. That would be very much appreciated. May I have the next slide? Transfer of credits. It's very useful for a lot of our students. For example, let's say I went to Carleton University and I have a communication and English course that I don't want to do at Algonquin College. I see it on my timetable. I will take action on my Access account to do this transfer of credit. There's two types of transfer of credit. There's something called internal, which means I have done a course within Algonquin College, or external. It means that I have done it, for example, like I said, with Carleton, and I would be required to pay $10 for that course, as well as it's mandatory that you have a course outline, because when you submit that information, the department, the program coordinator would need to review it to make sure that it covers the same criteria that you would be applying or studying, I should say, with us, and then they will decide whether or not you'll get the exemption granted or denied. May I have the next slide, please? We have done here like a small quick video, about a minute or so, just for you to quickly see how it is to get to our Access account, and I will just let the video play. The beauty about our website now, we have a lot of video tutorials for you to access and to see if you have any concerns on how to do so. So we'll just watch this video together. So again, like I said, this is just one example of the videos we have. This one happens to be that we chose for you about the fee deferral, but there's other videos that talk about, for example, how to do a timetable change, how to view your timetable, etc. May I please have the second slide? This is our link. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to click on any of those links. And like I said, don't hesitate to give us a call anytime you have any questions or you're unsure of. And last slide, please. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to refer to our website and don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much for having me and presenting this slide. And eventually I'll stay with you guys until the end. So if you have any questions, I will be answering. Thank you kindly.
Great. Thank you so much, Ahmed. That was awesome. And I see that there are a few questions in the Q&A about timetables and that type of thing. So we will definitely address those. All right. So we now have Megan from Campus Services. Megan, over to you.
Thank you, Olivia. Can everyone see me? There we go. Okay. Hi, my name is Megan. I'm the marketing coordinator for Campus Services, and I am also an alumna of the public relations program. And just like Olivia, I liked it so much that I'm still here. Next slide, please. I'm just going to provide a quick overview of some of our services today. So card services covers the AC card and the UPass. The AC card is your student card and the UPass is universal transit for Ottawa and Gatineau. We use the same photo for both and we ask you to upload a photo online. The link to do so is on our website. You will need your network account credentials in order to log in to upload your photo. You can also choose to opt out of the UPass program if you're living outside of Ottawa, learning remotely, or if you decide to opt out. In order to get the full fee credit, you will need to opt out within the first 10 days of the fall term. And the student card is a good idea to have on hand. You can use it for meal plans and adding AC cash. You can also use it for peer tutoring. In residence, they use it for laundry, and some labs may require student identification as well. You can also use it for borrowing books from the library, and in Canada, there are some stores that may offer a student discount with proof of enrollment as well, so you can use that when you're shopping at some stores and get a discount as a student as well. Next slide, please. Thank you. So food services also falls under us. We will have 5 locations open this fall. Our website will be updated in the next couple weeks before the start of term with exact locations and hours of what is available. And then we do offer meal plans for convenience and savings as well. So you can get 5% on food items or up to 13% if you choose a full term meal plan. If you know that you're not a morning person and you want to buy breakfast every day, and this is definitely a convenient service to have loaded up on your card, ready to go, and then you don't have to think about it, and it's conveniently available for you on campus. Next slide, please. So the campus store, my background is the campus store. We are currently open for in-person shopping, which is really exciting. Following all the COVID protocols, of course, we have signage for distancing and contactless payment options, sanitization, all of those things are in place on campus and masks are mandatory. You can also choose to order shipping or curbside pickup. Booklist is currently available. So once you have your network account credentials from Access, you can log into Booklist and it's a personalized list of all of the course materials that you will need for your program. So it will say recommended or required, and then you can order directly from the campus store online. If you are an AC online student, you can use the textbook search feature by course, and you can find your books that way as well. We do currently have free shipping until Friday, August 20th for orders in Canada and the US over $100. So this is a great time to go ahead and buy your course materials. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email at campusstore@algonquincollege.com and we're happy to help you out there. Next slide, please. Printing on campus. So if you're on campus in the fall, you will be able to print on campus. The AC card is also used for printing using mobility print. So the instructions are on our website. If you're on campus and wondering how to do that, you can find more information on our website. You can also order personal prints or projects through the online print shop. So for example, if you have a final term project and you want it laminated, bound, very pretty, the print shop can do projects like that as well. Next slide, please. So we do also offer parking on campus. There's a lot of short-term or long-term options, especially considering some people are only on campus 1 day a week or 2 days a week. So we do offer multi-packs, or you can pay monthly by term. There's all kinds of options. And parking permits are on sale now on our website. So if you visit algonquincollege.com/parking, if you haven't already done so, you can check there and buy yourself a parking permit if needed. It is permitless, so there's no physical permit. They register your license as valid to be parked in specific spots on campus. Yeah, next slide, please. We do also offer lockers. Again, if you're on campus a lot, this is a very convenient service. It could be something simple like storing your winter jacket or your boots, or if you are in a program that may have some equipment like the esthetician program or some of the trades, it may be handy to have a locker to store your things in between classes, again, for convenience. So you can learn more on our website, algonquincollege.com/lockers, and you can apply to rent a locker via Access as well. Next slide, please. So this is our general information. I know this is a very brief overview, but if you would like to learn more about our services, please visit algonquincollege.com/campus services. If you need help, send us an email, campusservices@algonquincollege.com. I personally answer the emails, so just so you can put a face to the email, feel free to reach out and I will help in any way that I can. Next slide, please. And I'll pass it off to the Students Association. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan. That was great. And it's so nice for students, again, like you said, to put a face to the name. Many of the people on this webinar today are the folks who answer your emails or your social media messages. So it is nice to kind of get everyone virtually acquainted. So we will now be hearing from Lauren from your Students Association. Lauren, over to you.
Thanks, Olivia. Hi, everyone. I'm here on behalf of the Students Association, and I've been part of the Students Association for about 10 months now, and I'm here to talk about all the services that we have. Next slide, please. Our mission at the Students Association is to create an environment that inspires a passion for student success. Next slide, please. Our Students Association is governed by a board of directors that are all full-time students across all 3 Algonquin College campuses. The board sets a list of priorities each year that are high-level student issues and feedback that they work on throughout the year. Next slide, please. These are all of our board of directors for this upcoming year. So we have Emily Ferguson, our president, and Ellen, our vice president. And you can find all of their information and contact info on our website as well. Next slide, please. At the Students Association, we put on a number of events throughout the year, from large-scale concerts and carnivals to smaller trivia nights. Again, you can find all of our upcoming events for the fall on our website or our social media channels. Next slide, please. At Algonquin College, we have a variety of varsity sports. If you're interested in playing for one of our teams, you can find our coaches' information on our website and contact them directly. We also offer intramural sports, which are non-competitive sports that you can play against other students, sports like floor hockey, flag football, dodgeball, indoor soccer, and more. Our Athletics and Recreation Center is our brand new building that's currently being completed on the Ottawa campus, and it's set to open on September 7th. This brand new 125,000 square foot facility will have 3 new gyms, a rock climbing wall, bowling lanes, a wraparound running track, golf simulator, and a brand new restaurant. Next slide, please. This fall, we will have 2 different great food and drink services offered on the Ottawa campus. We have a Starbucks on campus, as well as the brand new restaurant that's opening in the Athletics and Recreation Center. Next slide, please. A great way to get involved on campus is to become a class representative. So we have class reps that are students from each program that bring academic concerns forward to our board of directors. We also have clubs and communities, another great way to get involved. They can be created based on any type of activity or hobby. We have all types of clubs, and the best part is if you don't see a club you're interested in joining, you can always start your own. We also have the Wellness and Equity Center on campus. This is a space that provides educational and social programming designed to educate students on campus. Next slide, please. We offer a number of different services on campus. Our food cupboard is our on-campus food bank that supplies any student with food security concerns for 3 days of food supplies. We also offer online housing ads for any students looking for a place to live off campus. Funding can be provided for students for graduation parties or to bring in guest speakers. We also oversee the health and dental plan for all full-time domestic students. This plan covers your dental care, prescription care, vision care, and more. More details can be found at wespeakstudent.com. And we also have a number of different meeting and silent study rooms on campus. Next slide, please. Our Algonquin Commons Theatre is a 800-person theater located on our Ottawa campus. This hosts a number of different types of shows, from musicals, comedians, concerts, and even dance shows. Next slide, please. Our Pembroke campus has a fitness zone and a 2-story rock climbing wall and a gymnasium offering the same intramural sports as Ottawa. The landing is our licensed lounge on campus that is also used as an event space. Next slide, please. Our Perth campus has a free fitness center with similar services offered to the Ottawa campus. Next slide, please. So this was just a brief overview, but don't forget to connect with us on social. And next slide, please. If you are a Perth or Pembroke student, be sure to follow their campus-specific accounts. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren. We appreciate you taking the time to share information about the Students Association. Up next, we've got Michelle from our International Education Center. So Michelle, we're going to pass it over to you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. How exciting to see all the chats going back and forth from students from all around the world. So I work in the International Education Center, and some of my team members are actually joining me today and helping answer questions. You can reach us always at iac support@algonquincollege.com. Next slide, please. So we do offer quite a few support services for international students. Again, you can contact us at iac support@algonquincollege.com. We do provide an arrival service, of course, self-isolation plan for students wanting to arrive during this pandemic. Information is changing often about travel requirements, so please do check our website. We do have a website for self-isolation, or contact us at IAC Support. We offer student orientation for international students as well. We offer health insurance coverage. So this is different than health insurance coverage for Canadians or domestic students. So international students who are here do get health insurance coverage through GuardMe. Very similar to OHIP, a little bit different, but health is always looked after. We do offer assistance with program withdrawal and changing programs, peer tutoring support. That would be some free peer tutoring hours for international students only. We offer a student mentorship program, social and cultural events, workshops on financial literacy, immigration, information sessions on social insurance numbers, and CRA, Canada Revenue Agency sessions. Next slide, please. Thank you. One of our big new features, about a year in now, is an iSent app. We strongly recommend that you download the iSent app because it will give you access to so much of our services. A lot of immigration information, important information, student orientation. We have a Succeed in Canada course that all international students are expected to take and complete. It really is used to help integrate you with your learning here at Algonquin and navigating the Canadian life, I guess, as an international student. You'll find our events and workshops page. This is a very important piece because this is where you'll find a lot of our webinar. Yeah, thank you. So please take a look here. You would choose Canada, your preferred email, and then choose Algonquin in order to be able to download this app, which is very, very helpful. Next slide, please. Yeah, so self-isolation and orientation. So the self-isolation program, which I touched on at the very beginning, is a program for international students. We do have it on Algonquin College's website. You can always do a search for self-isolation. You'll find all the information there. This is to help international students who want to arrive to Canada and what they need to know. So arrival service information, but also travel requirement information, which, as mentioned, is changing often. We also have a virtual international student orientation. We do expect international students to take the orientation or to attend orientation because the information provided is super helpful for all international students. So please do attend our orientation. It is mandatory. We expect you to attend. Thank you. Next slide, please. Yes, as mentioned, the health insurance plan through GuardMe provides insurance coverage for international students. So again, this is very different than what Canadians and domestic students have. This is specific for international students. You can find all the information on the website, which is guard.me/Algonquin. For international students, we communicate with you regularly. So you receive newsletters from us, usually every couple of weeks with important information. Health insurance is usually included in this. If you're not receiving any information from the International Education Center and you are an international student, please do email us at iacsupport@algonquincollege.com. And then for specific information about health insurance, you can email iacinsurance@algonquincollege.com. Most of the information, though, is on the guard.me/Algonquin website. Next slide, please. The Succeed in Canada course, which I mentioned earlier, is mandatory. It is created to provide international students with a lot of important information that is needed. So international students are regulated by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. So rules are very, they're very clear, and international students really need to understand those rules. When I say clear, maybe that wasn't the right word. They're very rigid. They're very important for international students to know. The course is fantastic. If you haven't received the invitation for the course yet, which is on Brightspace, again, contact us at iecsupport@algonquincollege.com. Very important that you are receiving communication from the International Education Center. We'll go to the next slide, please. So again, as mentioned, international activities and events. The best way to find this information, of course, you can go to our website, but it is found on the iCent app, which I spoke about earlier. Download this app, you'll have easy access to a lot of our important information for international students, including how to connect with activities and events for international students. Next slide, please. Free peer tutoring. So as mentioned earlier, we provide some free peer tutoring hours for international students. That's at all campuses, by the way. So not only Woodruff, but Pembroke and Perth as well. Do access this service through the iCent app. If for whatever reason you can't get through on the iCent app, you can always send an email at the iecsupport@algonquincollege.com email. Next slide, please. Sorry, that was it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. That was great. Lots of wonderful information there. So next up, we actually have Melissa from our from our academic success department. And Melissa is going to cover lots of really important information. So Melissa, let's hand it over to you. Oh, Melissa, I think you're just muted. Oh no, I'm not sure. I can't hear you. Did you have headphones plugged in? Okay. No problem. We might just actually, to keep things moving along, and we'll troubleshoot with Melissa on the side, we'll actually now we'll hand it over to our wonderful colleague, Jennifer from Co-op Services. And Jennifer is going to cover any information that you would need to know if you are in a co-op program. Jennifer, over to you. And Graham, if we could just advance the slides to co-op, so it would just be the next portion of the presentation, please.
Morning, everyone. So my name is Jen and I'm a co-op support officer in the co-op department. Next slide, please. So what exactly is co-op? It's part of your program. You will have a 4-month or 8-month co-op work placement where you will be working 35 hours a week. It must be paid. So there is a pay scale on our website. If you're looking to see what the minimum wage is for the programs, we have a salary expectation guide for each program. It lists an average, a minimum, and a maximum pay. The work must be related to your program. And like I said, the co-op is either 4 months or 8 months, depending on your program. Next slide, please. So this is just a work integrated comparison. So some programs had field placements or clinical placements. So this just lists that co-op is 16 plus weeks. It is paid, it's full-time, and it's separate. Next slide, please. So to be eligible for co-op, you need to apply directly to the co-op program through Ontario colleges or the international portal. To stay in co-op, you need to maintain a GPA of 2.7 or higher. You need to complete all required courses by the time of your work term and remain in good standing with the college and follow the student code of conduct policy. Next slide, please. For international students, before you start your work term, it is mandatory that you have a work permit in hand. Further instructions on this can be accessed through our website, the co-op website, as well as the international student website. For your resume during the prep term, don't be afraid to put down all the international languages that you speak. For some employers, especially government employees, they do like to see this. I've highlighted there, yes, you can work for government departments. That's the #1 question from international students. So yes, you can apply to some federal agencies and provincial departments within the government. Next slide, please. And that's it for me. Thanks, everyone.
Great, thank you so much. So we're going to give Melissa one more shot to make sure to see if our audio is working. So, oh yeah, I can hear you. That's great. So if we
okay, awesome.
That's awesome. So if we could back up and go to the start of Melissa's slides, and then we'll cover academic success. I feel like the anticipation has been building, and now we're here. So over to you, Melissa.
No pressure, no pressure. Hi, everyone. So thankfully you can hear me now. My name is Melissa, and I'm coming to you from our academic success and student retention team. And today I'm just here to talk to you about some of the people in your academic area who are going to help you with your academic success. So next slide, please. So you have a lot of people at Algonquin that are here to help you succeed, but on your program side of things, there are really 4 people that throughout the term that you'll hear most often that are going to help you. You have your academic advisor, you have your professors in all of your classes, you have your student success specialist, and then you have your program coordinator. So what I'm going to be doing today, and Graham, I'll have you advance to the next slide. We're going to be focusing on your academic advisor, your program coordinator, and your student success specialist. So what I'm going to do is just give you some high-level overview of who these people are and how you can contact them within your specific departments. So next slide, please. So first we have your program coordinator. So your program coordinator they can help you with some specific questions that you might have about your program, and they are the ones that are likely going to be hosting your program orientation. So they can give you, they can answer questions about prerequisites, about dropping a course and when it's going to be offered again. So for example, some programs only have a course that's offered once a year, and that may be a prerequisite, which is a course that you need to take before you're able to take another course. As well, questions about program progression. So what courses you need to take before you're able to take other courses, they can help you with that. And next slide, please. Then we have your student success specialist, and they are really like your compass for accessing all of the various support services that are available to you at Algonquin. So if you're not sure where to go, they can help point you in the right direction, as they are the subject matter experts on all of the resources that are available to you at the college. As well, if you're thinking about withdrawing from your entire program, so say you've been here for about a month now and it's now October and November, and you're realizing that the program you're in isn't a right fit for you, but maybe another program at Algonquin is, you'll start that process by meeting with your student success specialist. And next slide, please. And then we have your academic advisor. Now, in some programs, especially if the program is small, you may notice that the program coordinator and the academic advisor are the same person, and that's okay in some programs. They can help you with setting and achieving your academic goals. And they can, again, as similar to a program coordinator, they can help you with questions about program progression. If you find yourself falling off track with your studies, an academic advisor can help you with resources. They can help you get yourself back on track. As well, when it comes to your career in your field, academic advisors are faculty in your program, and they have been in the field for years. They can help, they're a great resource to tap into if you have questions about your program and what to do and bigger picture items. And next slide, please. So where you can find us, so algonquincollege.com/academic success. If you click on the student success team, find your program. And some for the student success specialist tab, you'll want to first click your campus, so whether it's Ottawa, Perth, or Pembroke, or online. And then you can you can find your student success specialist or anyone from your team there. And next slide. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. And finally, we have our last presentation for the day before we get into our open Q&A portion. So we've got Matthew from our Information Technology Services Department. So Matthew, I will toss it over to you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Matthew Wally. I'm the team lead for Algonquin College ITS Service Desk. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can get set up with your network account and get into your Brightspace and email and make sure you're set up so that you can start taking your classes as soon as they start on the 7th of September. So the first thing to do is get your network account credentials from ACSIS, commonly referred to as Access. So if you're a first-time student, first time ever going into ACSIS, then you're going to be signing in with your student number, and you'll be using your birth date as the default password. The birth date is entered through 3 drop-down boxes. If you're a returning student, then you would have already set a password for your ACSIS account, and you'll use that password to sign in. If you've forgotten your password, then you can use the forgot your password link to reset it, or you can contact ITS for a password reset. Once you have signed into ACSIS successfully, you can get to your network account info from the menu on the left-hand side of the screen. The 5th option down on that menu, network account info, and your default network account credentials will be shown there, both your email address and your default password. Now, for returning students, you may have already changed that default password, in which case the information shown there will no longer be accurate. And you'll need to, if you don't remember the password you set, you'll need to contact ITS for a password reset. Could I get the next slide, please? So your network account, it gets you access to a number of different things at Algonquin College. The most important are, of course, Brightspace and student email. That's how you're going to be completing most of your course activities and also accessing communications from your instructor and classmates. The next most important one is Office 365. It's a license for the Office 365 software suite. So it gives you access to Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive, Outlook, everything under the Microsoft Office software suite umbrella. Accessible through Brightspace is the digital resource portal. This is where you will have access to all of your course software that may be available for your particular program of study. Not every program of study gets software provided to them through the digital resource portal, but if your instructors are telling you that you should have access to software, it will likely be located there. Your network account can also get you access to the college VPN service. Not every program of study requires access to VPN. If you do need access, your instructor will communicate that to you and will provide you instructions on how to get set up and when and how to use it. The VPN service can be useful for students even if they don't require it for their program of study. And if you'd like to use VPN to take advantage of VPN specific services, then you can ask your instructor to submit an access request on your behalf. Lastly, all full-time students are eligible to get an Adobe Creative Cloud license to get access to the full Adobe Creative Cloud suite of software. The other services listed there are ones that are only accessible through the VPN service, including My Desktop, which is a virtual computer environment for students that maybe need access to a more powerful device than their actual physical laptop. It also gives you access to student printing services if you're not on campus, and gives you access to your N drive and your program specific storages if applicable while not on campus. Next slide, please. So whether you're learning from home or even if you're learning on campus, you're going to be using a lot of different types of technology, and it can be a little daunting learning how to use them all, especially if you're a first-time learner. So we've set up a number of different support resources that you can take advantage of to make sure you know what you're doing when you're first connecting to your classes, and it even sort of demonstrates more advanced functionality if you really want to develop your skills with technology. For remote learners and students of online courses, we do have the study and work from home support resource, which goes into a number of tools and services that you can use to assist with learning remotely. We also have our ITS knowledge base, which has a number of college-specific IT support articles that cover the various services we provide here at the college and how you can resolve your own issues. Of course, you can always contact ITS directly if you need more hands-on support. For students that do need VPN to complete their learning, we do have a VPN support resource as well. For students that have never used Brightspace, you can use the Brightspace Essentials course, which gives you an overview of how to use Brightspace and how to navigate it. And then, of course, Zoom is the default teleconferencing tool that most instructors will be using to deliver online courses. You should be looking at how to use Zoom. Now, if your instructor has decided to use a different teleconferencing tool, they will communicate that through Brightspace and explain how they expect you to connect to their course materials if they are using such a tool. So if you have any questions about how you should be accessing your course materials, you should be consulting your Brightspace courses first, and you can ask your instructors for clarification. ITS is also offering a drop-in support to assist students with getting into their network account. We're offering that on September the 7th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have the link for the Zoom session available from our main webpage, ITS/drop-in support. If you do need help, you can visit us there, or we all are also available through our regular support channels, which I will cover at the end of this presentation. Next slide, please. So earlier I covered My Desktop, which is a virtual computer environment. So some students have access to less powerful devices, or maybe devices that aren't compatible with their program-specific software. And My Desktop is a service we provide to assist students in working around their technology limitations. So while connected to VPN, or while connected on campus through Wi-Fi or a physical wire connection, you can go to mydesktop.algonquincollege.com and sign in with your student username and password. And you can access one of 7 different virtual computer environments that are preloaded with tons of educational software. The virtual computer environments are subject specific, including things like office management or design, mechanical engineering, and computer programming. There's one for just about every different field of study. And regardless of what program you're enrolled in, you would have access to each of these different virtual computer environments. So you can use them at your leisure and sort of look into what different types of software is available out in the professional field. An important thing to note if you are using this tool is that it is reset every night at midnight. You would need to save your work to either a USB key or to your college provided student storage. If you store it to the local drive of the virtual environment, it will be deleted at midnight. Next slide, please. So ITS offers support through 3 different channels. We have support by email at 5555@algonquincollege.com. We also offer contact center support at 613-727-4723, extension 5555. And then for issues that can't be resolved over the phone or by email, we do offer in-person support. We're located in C building, the basement floor in Student Central, and we're available in person from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and from Saturdays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Those hours of service do start next Monday on August the 23rd. At the moment for this week, we are available 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for all of your questions and inquiries. If you do need to book an in-person support session, you can scan that QR code that's showing there. And we also have the booking link available from our ITS webpage. So thank you all for listening today, and I'll pass it back to Olivia.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and stop sharing the presentation now. And we have a little bit of time left for open Q&A. And I see that there are quite a few questions that are still in the Q&A. So our college experts are going to continue to answer these. I ask now that all of our college experts turn their cameras on if you're answering questions on behalf of your service area. So again, you can continue to type your questions into the Q&A, but we'll just start going through some of these common questions now. So the first question we have is, this would be for our ESR, Ahmed. So we've got, I've been accepted for OSAP and have funding coming in after the first week of school. I was wondering if I need to pay my tuition fees and book costs up front, or will it be covered? What's the process for that?
Yes, Olivia, thank you very much. The answer to that question is that once you are approved for OSAP, yes, OSAP will release the money. How OSAP works is that they pay the college first. So OSAP will always pay the college first for your semester that you are enrolled in. Any money that is left over from OSAP will go directly to your bank account that you provided on the OSAP application called the Master Student Financial Assistance Agreement. So that's how it works. OSAP pays the college, any money remaining, it will go to your bank account. If OSAP doesn't give you enough money to cover your tuition cost, you will be required to pay the difference. For majority of our fall term, the outstanding balance is September the 27th. So don't forget that date so you don't get penalized.
Okay, awesome. And Ahmed, while I have you here, I'm going to ask you another question. So anyone there's quite a few of the same question in the Q&A. So anyone who's asked this question, please listen up. A lot of folks are saying in the Q&A that their timetables are empty on Access. Would there be a reason or something they could do to fix this?
Yes. So believe it or not, one thing I've noticed is that when I was helping students yesterday is that they didn't change the term to 21 fall. So
Okay.
a lot of people are viewing the 21 spring.
Okay.
So that's one thing. Please change the term to 21 fall, please and thank you. And when you look at it, you'll notice that there's a date. For example, it will show August 16th till August 20th. You don't have any courses, so press the arrow to the right side of that date to keep going all the way to September 7th. Now, when you do that, it will show you, for example, oh, my Tuesday clock from 9 to 3, for example, here's my schedule. Now, if you do that and there's no timetable, it means that you did not defer your fees if you're an OSAP applicant or you did not pay your tuition deposit.
Okay.
If that's the case, please contact us at the registrar's office. We would love to help you immediately because I know that, September is around the corner. So don't hesitate to pick up the phone, please, and call us, or you can send us an email. I recommend that you do reach out to us by phone so we can help you faster. But that could be the main reason why you don't have a timetable.
Perfect. That's super helpful. So to summarize for all of our students, so number one, make sure that you're selecting the fall 2021 term if you can't see your timetable in Access. Number two, make sure you're going to a date in September because you don't have classes in August, so nothing will populate right now. And number three, if you haven't deferred or paid your fees, this might also be a reason you can't see your timetable. So you're going to want to contact the registrar's office immediately if you know that you haven't done that just yet.
Sorry to cut you off, Miss Olivia. The other problem that I discovered yesterday helping students, just very, very, very few, is the fact that they have an outstanding balance from the 21 spring. If you are a returning student or previously a long time ago you attended Algonquin College, there's an outstanding balance. The system, it stops us from creating a timetable for you because of this outstanding financial encumbrance, or it could be an academic encumbrance, meaning that you need to reach out to your program coordinator or the program you've applied to. And again, if that's the case, don't hesitate to call us so we can definitely look into it and help you guys. Thank you, Ms. Olivia.
Thank you so much. That's great. Okay, so we have another question that I will look. So this one here is for Jennifer, our co-op expert. So Jennifer, someone here has a question. How do I confirm if I'm in the co-op program?
You would be able to view that on your Access account. So you'd be in the 03 version of the program and it would say co-op at the end, co-op version of the program.
Awesome, wonderful. Okay, and if anyone has questions, they can obviously reach out directly to the co-op department.
So our email is coop@algonquincollege.com and I'll just put that in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, so we're coming up close to the end of our time, so we'll continue to answer some of these questions in the Q&A, and we'll take one more question here. But I've got, so let's see, another question. So trying to find one that we've received quite a bit. Okay, this is a great question. And Lauren, I'm going to toss this over to you. Our full-time AC online students automatically opted into the health coverage program?
So our health coverage program is for all full-time activity fee paying students. But you can also check our website. Our website has a very good detailed description of all of the different students that have access to the health plan and how you can opt in or how you can opt out, as well as those deadlines. So I encourage you to check out our website. I'm going to put the link inside the chat as well.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And we've had a lot of students asking, and maybe Sam, I'll have you put this into the chat, but we've had quite a few students asking about access to campus and on-campus access. And I actually have two links. So there's one really handy link that links to the it's a page that kind of explains what is offered on campus this term in terms of programming and what the information means if it says that your program is remote only or remote plus on campus. And you can actually search your program in that link as well to see what kind of on-campus or online delivery will be available in the fall term. So I've just popped that link in the chat now, and you can definitely take a look at that. And I'm also going to pop a link into the chat about on-campus access and COVID-19. So there is a lot of really great information that's up to date, and this website is being updated consistently. So anything you'd need to know about COVID-19, campus access, that type of thing can be found at that link right there. I see we still have a few, maybe we'll just run over, maybe 5 minutes over to try to tackle a few more questions and give time for our experts to answer those questions in the chat. So we've got our next question is, this is a great question. So Ahmed, I'm gonna hand this over to you again. If we always have Thursday open on our timetable, does that mean we have to pick a class to fill it?
No, you don't. If you have Thursday open that blank, that means there's no courses scheduled for that day for you as a student. So there's no class that happens to be that day. The only time you need to choose a course is when you select an elective.
Okay.
And you do that through the Access account on the left side. On the left side, there's something called General Education Electives. You select that. If that option doesn't work, go to the left side again. On the left side, look for something that says Drop Add Transfer button. Click on it. That would be your second choice on how to choose that elective. If that option is not there, that means don't forget you did not defer your fees. Therefore, you'll not be able to be registered yet. So if that's the case, don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email at the registrar's office so that we can help you. Okay, guys? Thank you, Ms. Olivia.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. And I see that we have quite a few questions as well about on-campus activities and the January 2022 intake and what that service delivery model will look like. And again, if you want to visit we put the link in the chat to the Algonquin College page that contains information about COVID-19 and the service delivery for upcoming terms. You can visit that there. That page is always kept up to date. So that is where you'll find your information. So our next question, and Melissa, this one might be for you, but do you offer asynchronous learning options? Because I will be working during the time of the live sessions. Any advice for that?
So that is really going to be dependent on each professor and each instructor and what they want to do. So most of those questions about whether you'll have asynchronous or asynchronous activities will be answered during your program orientation or during your first week of classes. So professors will be able to give you some information as to whether they're going to be offering their lectures recorded to be able to watch at a later time, or whether they expect students to be available during that particular lecture.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much. So we've got a question, Megan, for you over in Campus Services. So the question is, hi, will there be ebooks for online students and how do I pay for them?
Yeah, so I saw this come up a few times. So the availability is really dependent on the specific course and like the company that's producing that textbook, but they are available through the campus store. So when you search, you should be able to see like a hardcover copy or the digital e-text if that's your preferred method. And then you can choose to buy them through the campus store as well. It'll give you a code and then you'll have to access it through Textidium. But there are instructions on how to do all of that when you're ordering, I believe, as well. So they are available through the campus store is the short answer.
Perfect. And I'm going to actually add Ahmed to this spotlight because I have another question here, and I think both of you will probably be able to answer it together. But which ancillary fees are not compulsory? My course is online and I won't be using many of the services. So it's kind of about those fees.
Two fees that you can opt out from right now is called the UPass fee. To opt out from the UPass fee, it's on the Access account on the left side, opt out UPass. Please fill that out. The other fee that I get a lot of questions about opting out is the health plan. For our domestic students, you need to communicate with the student association. For international students, you need to communicate with the International Education Center. I don't know what the rules exactly for the International Education Center, but Miss, I forgot, sorry, forgive me. We do have an international representative here that can maybe ask if it is a mandatory or if it's not, but those are the two fees as domestic student. UPass and health plan are the only two, unfortunately, right now that you can opt out from. Everything else is actually a mandatory fee. Health plan for domestic is student associations.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. And I see that we
You're
have one of our experts, Shelly, has her hand up. So Shelly, go ahead. Did you have a question or anything you wanted to say?
I did not. Sorry, Olivia.
Wonderful, no problem. Okay, folks, well, we're actually over our time for today. So we'll keep having our experts answer some of those questions, the last minute ones in the chat. I wanted to thank everyone, all of our experts today for sharing their knowledge and their information. And I wanted to thank all of you students for joining us today and asking your questions and taking the time to set yourself up for success. We have a second session just like this one next Wednesday, August 25th. So if you're interested, you want to join again, maybe more questions come up between now and then, you can register for that one by visiting algonquincollege.com/orientation and checking out the College Essentials Q&A webinar page. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, just know that it's totally normal. We are all here to support you. If you're still not clear on why your timetable isn't showing up or you have questions about how to pay your fees and that type of thing, just reach out to us. You can reach out to the registrar's office or any of our departments, and we will help get you the right information and the right contacts. If you're interested, you can also check out the Student Navigator program, which is a really excellent program we have at Algonquin College, where trained upper-level student navigators help you make the most of your Algonquin journey. And we can pop a link in the chat to that now, so you can also check that out. Finally, if you haven't registered for the AC Virtual Mixer or AC Day 1, please visit algonquincollege.com/orientation to check it out. These events are going to be great. And on AC Day 1, just to kind of reiterate that you don't need to stress, we will have lots and lots of support options like ITS drop-in sessions where you'll get one-on-one support, how to use Brightspace and Zoom, really wonderful tutorials that will help you get set up for success. We also have very many other social events coming up in the fall term, so definitely keep your eyes on the AC Hub events calendar to check out opportunities to socialize and fun things that you can do with others. So again, thank you all so much for attending this webinar, and if you'd like, you can join us next week. And yeah, thank you so much, and bye everyone.